Yes, name again. I didn't write it down.
The goblin spews some more gibberish to I.
I rolls his eyes. He's older than the goblin.
So now the crowd is starting to subside a little bit. The ogre is dead. The goblins, the hobgoblins, the bugbears are dead. Several more guards appear to arrive from the other side of town, and now it seems like the rest of the night is being spent putting out the rest of the small fires, tending to the wounded, and also they're going to keep a nervous watch out from the ramparts. There's several ramparts around the town that they're going to be watching.
Before Joshua finally splits off from us to take his captive back to the stockade, I does offer his services if needed to help at least translate or to stand nearby in case the goblin does speak just in his own tongue.
We'll definitely need you in the morning, good sir. And we'll get some rest, and we'll summon you in the mornings.
So before we go take a rest, I want to root through the body of this orc, see if we've got any clues or treasure.
Yeah, where's the wagon from? Is that a local wagon, or is it an orc, a goblinish?
Yeah,
wagon?
it was a sort of like a goblin type of wagon.
It looks like the Beverly
nothing
Hillbillies
fancy.
truck or something.
Vane, do you think you can try to figure out maybe where it's traveled through?
Without difficulty, sir. No, without difficulty. I will be easily able to follow wagon tracks.
I was saying more like
He wanted you to look at the dirt and mud on it and see if you could place the region it came from. I think
CSI Ranger.
Oh, you mean right? Yes, I shall need Major Mass Spectrometer, and I shall need to investigate in depth. But
Let's get this mud to the lab.
Abby, check this out. Dave, may I make a nature roll?
It's fucking spectrometer.
It's an elvish device. It's sort of round, has a glass in the middle. It's sort of thicker in the middle.
I love it.
Handle on it. You do this, and you look at things. It's an elvish invention. You humans will have it one day.
We give you guys a couple encounters worth of XP. Here you go. Over 1,000.
All right.
So, Dave, may I make a nature check to see if I can identify where it's from?
What
dirt?
The actual wagon itself?
The dirt on the wagon and what have you. See if I can work
He's
out
going over it, smelling it. And
Sure.
stuff.
nature.
Yeah, you can. You won't get any kind of bonuses because it is dark outside. But sure, you give me a nature check.
Damn it! Didn't roll
Now we need a crit.
There you go.
That was beautiful. Nice. So yeah, as you're
Sika, could you do that a little more often?
yeah, do that like every single round.
Yeah, I ought to do that, really.
So yes, as you're looking over the wagon, you can see that the wagon, it does go back through the western gate there, and it does. You actually track it for a good. How far do you want to track it? Just a little while? Or?
I'm really just trying to ascertain where it came from, what sort of region. This side of the river, the other side of the river. I'll track no more than a couple of miles.
Yeah,
just to get an idea.
You can find a staging point, like about a mile out from Brindle, a mile out. You find like a staging point, and this is pretty much where they got everything going, lighting all the cask, and setting all of basically getting ready for the attack. But you can see that this wagon is actually going more towards a north to northeast fashion as where it came from, and looks like it's heading towards the mountains.
Thank you. I shall head back with the appropriate information for my CSI
But
team.
as for like different types of mud, it hasn't. The weather hasn't really been bad, so there's not a whole lot of different types of muds and dirts on it. It just looks like dirt. You know what I mean?
I'm also, yeah, but it's not just dirt. It's also, as it'll have gone through sort of, say wildlands, it may have picked
Yeah.
up grass seeds and that sort of thing. And
Well,
maybe
yeah, there are
maybe a
some
twig or two.
small little there's small little pebbles in the in the gription tracks of the wheels itself. There's small little pebbles, quite a few of them, and so it's obviously been taking over some stone paths.
Right, thank you. I shall report back to my team.
Alright, took you long enough, Vane. Where have you been off to, man?
Oh, I'm sorry, Gibbs. I was checking out the staging post for the goblin attack, and it's
Oh,
a couple
really?
of miles. It's about a mile down the road. We can check it in daylight if you wish.
Very
Well,
well. Let's
well-
get some rest, man.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want I to be at a disadvantage in the dark.
Yes, puny humans.
Yeah.
It's a joke, I'm tired. I need sleep.
But the next morning, everybody is getting up. You can see the full extent of the attack. You can see that the western gate was damaged pretty badly, but you can see that they do have some woodworkers out there. A couple of the other guards, some townsfolk have all gotten together, and it looks like they're starting to rebuild this. A couple of the woodworkers are also putting new doors and new seals and frames on the blue parrot as well from all of the damage in the tables and whatnot. So Bruce isn't a happy camper this morning. He knows that this is going to cost him part of his profit for the month, if not all of it. It seems like he's taking it out on his daughter Sarah, just stressing out a little
God.
bit. Yeah.
As I walk down in the morning, I say, "Good day, Bruce."
Ah,
G'day, Bruce.
good day,
Bruce.
good day, Master Vane.
Goodbye, Bruce.
Was an interesting night we had last night, eh?
It was most efficacious.
Very
Aye.
deadly, Bruce.
We'll go into the Delmonica room. You've got breakfast waiting for you, and I believe Verton is fixing to leave Brindle for the time being.
Yes, he
Excellent.
said he
Hot
was
cakes and
shipping
spiced
over.
wine.
Aye. All right, so let's we're good, and we'll take a break. I'll see you guys in like 10 minutes. All right, you guys. It's a new day. You guys have seen the aftermath of everything. There's some small patches of roofs still smoldering a little bit. Like I said, the western gate is being mended. The blue parrot had some damage done to it. all of the throughout the night, all of the goblins and the other goblinoids that were killed during the raid, the assault, have been taken, and there's like a pile of bodies that you could probably a pile. You see a sort of like a smoke, and then a couple guards say that they're burning the bodies basically. So I granted everybody an extended rest, so everybody's got back their dailies, full surges, full hit points, all of that good stuff. Everybody has an action point again too.
My
You're the
action
only one.
point's not okay. So I was like, hey, what? Okay.
Yeah, did it uncheck itself? It should have.
No,
I hope
it's
it did.
it's not there.
Has I got some sort of thing going on where he doesn't have an action point anymore?
No,
He's human.
I know he used. He
Oh,
used
never
his
mind. There it is.
Yeah,
It
there
just the bar was clicked for some reason.
Okay.
So,
Don't.
okay, it's back. So yeah, as I comes down, he's still applying a little bit of ointment on, because he was passed out in fire, and that hurts.
He was.
So really, let's face it, there are two of you that are completely bald from the neck upwards.
Ooh, wow, that's a good point. I mean,
No. The rune magic. Yeah.
the beard and everything. Okay.
Not the beard.
I still had to shave twice this morning, so
God.
I want to be
You know.
that vicious. Yeah. Oh yeah. Even with a little bit of charred, Seeker's still, still got to look great.
can't keep up with it. Stuff just grows so fast.
I heard that there's these things called lasers.
Not in this setting, I don't think.
So you guys are in the Delmonica room. A squire comes in.
No.
Very.
Wait, the same room that we slaughtered a bunch of goblins in?
Oh yeah, everything's
They're eating it again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
everything's
had to
been.
come out of the Delmonico
Yeah.
room to do the slaughter.
Yeah, Bruce has been up all night. Bruce and Sarah and the other employees, they haven't. They've got another full day to work before they can take a day off. Yeah, they've worked throughout the night to get this place at least, all the blood up and the bodies out of here. I mean, there's still a lot of missing spaces where tables and stuff were at one time. But Bruce has just been in a foul mood all morning, just because of his profits are being hurt.
Yeah, it
These
wasn't too bad.
attacks
We
can't
caught most of them
continue.
at the door.
Yeah, but they can't continue. They're going to run me into the ground, and then the blue parrots will be no more, my friend.
Well, we'll see what we
Hey,
can
what's up,
do,
Red
Bruce. I believe we're gonna head up to the guards today to see what information we can glean from our captive, and hopefully find the lair of this evil group that keeps attacking this town.
Yeah, word was there was a goblin that was taken captive. We didn't get one the first raid. Seems like was it you that captured him? You said. Good job.
Our party, yes.
It was the Seeker here, most explicitly. But yes, we got him, I think.
Yeah, so
I
this,
simply asked nicely for him to surrender. It was simple.
a very
After seeing his ogre beat to death in front of him.
and his other friend, yeah. A very flamboyantly dressed squire comes into the Delmonica room and requires...
Well, good morning, Squire.
Oh, hello, good sir.
Oh, God.
I was gonna give him a cocked eyebrow and look down at him.
I am here, and he pulls out a scroll and then kind of unwinds it a little bit, and he holds it up. I am here to summons you to our council members. You are requested for an audience to hear from Troyus, a one pride, a one eye, a one vein, and a one seeker. We wish to have your
Ooh,
presence
that's me.
immediately.
I was gonna pluck it from him to read it over himself.
He goes, oh, excuse
Come,
you.
let's go.
Let me finish my breakfast first, Seeker.
Hotcakes and spiced wine for breakfast, chaps.
Yes, indeed. I'm indulging right now.
I would assume then, Squire, that this is an immediate summons.
It is. It is.
So they are waiting on us.
They are, sir. I would never keep the council waiting.
All right, tuck it in, Vane. Tuck it in.
On behalf of Councilman Troyes and the rest of the council members, we do thank you for all of your assistance that you have given the splendid city of Grindel.
Yes, yes. So don't mention it, man. Don't mention it.
Take pride is one that can give you a run for your own money.
Yeah, he seems rather extravagantly dressed, I would say.
Somewhat almost foppish, one would say.
Right.
A little bit.
He's straddling the border between masculinity and femininity, I think.
Well, I mean, let's face it, old boy. You are the master, or may have the mistress of dancing along that saw blade.
Oh, do stop, you flatterer.
Your goddess does demand so much from you, and you give so willingly.
I do. What can I say? I am.
This is fantasygrounds.com, Redburn. It's a program.
Well, you're also
you
a
can
tart.
purchase. So you can download the free trial.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, time is of the essence, good gentlemen.
I'm already lined up at the door.
There are several things that I would like to discuss with you on the way.
Take some sausages and fold the pancake up and stand up and walk.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. And
Yeah, it really does.
dipping it in like syrup or something.
Some syrup,
Oh
yeah,
my
for
god.
The road day, for the
You know what I might do after
Or
the game
some
tonight?
gravy.
I think I might hit my son up and say, dude, let's go to IHOP. I think I might do it.
Dave,
Just give me some takeout.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, do you need another son at all?
Right?
Just checking, just wondering.
Do they
Right.
even have IHOP in England?
I have no idea what an
It's
IHOP is, but it
It's
sounds
international, man.
International,
They've got
yeah.
to.
They're everywhere, right?
It's the International
Yeah,
House of Pancakes. IHOP, International House of Pancakes.
Yeah, but this would be like the American World Series in which only America plays in.
But
Hey,
this is
there's
international,
Canadian
though.
teams.
Yeah,
There's
it's
Canadian
international.
teams.
Yeah, the Canadian team was in the playoffs.
Oh, well, the Canadians play. Well, there you go. How to tell the difference between the Canadians
The
and the
Canadians,
Americans.
the Canadians,
The
they
Canadians are
almost
more
won.
polite.
Tell us what it's all about, eh? So the very flamboyantly dressed squire is leading you throughout the city to where you're going, and he tells you that Councilman Troyes has been his family has been in Brindle for quite a while, and to tell you a little bit about him, his family was all killed during the Red Hand riots of 10 years ago in Brindle. He lost his entire family, and his conviction is solid. He wants to take care of these Red Hands, so he will probably present you a pretty hefty offer.
Oh, well, that sounds delightful.
Very good, very good.
A letter of marque so that we may war upon these miscreants. Sounds good.
A large reward.
You said miscreants here in
Bale's not
Brindle?
here to cash in.
Who are these miscreants in Brindle?
The goblins, man, the goblins.
The goblins. Did you not notice the goblin? I'll slap him up the back of the head. Do you not know the goblins?
Excuse you, sir. Oh, my hair. Of course, the whole town of Brindle, the whole city knows about these vicious foul creatures. Where were you last night? I was
Killing them. Where were you? Which table were you hiding under?
Oh, I was making sure that the councilmen were tucked away safely, just in case they.
In you'd like to make sure they're tucked away safely in that deep, dark cellar.
Just lead us on, please.
Lead us to your take us to your leader before we beat you.
Double entendre intended.
Oh God.
Right. All right. So you guys are. Tell me what you guys are seeing real quick as you're get some of the carnage and
path
the
are we
devastating.
taking? Okay,
Yeah. Right. I gotta look something up real quick. So you guys gonna RP it out for a second.
Well, I'm seeing trees and fields and pretty
There's
pink
no
elephants.
Right, I'm just seeing a bunch
This is
of,
what I'm saying. You
a
haven't
bunch
been
of-
drinking as much as I have this morning.
a bunch of merchants and things refixing their windows and all this shit. Everything seems to be in disarray. There are lots of people outside, hammer and nails in hand.
Even the
patching up
guards.
things, yes.
Yeah.
The guards would be engaged with cleanup, probably carting off body. Well,
Exactly.
yeah,
The whole
maybe
town
not
is
carting off body.
young
Bring out
children,
your
the old.
dead!
Yep. Ding. But I'm not dead yet.
You will be
I'm
soon.
feeling better.
Right, so, yeah, it's like the aftermath of a war zone, basically. But things seem to be getting in order very quickly.
On the western side of town, yeah, it's definitely like that.
Yeah, well, a stark contrast is apparent once we get towards the council chamber. Everything looks like it's been unharmed over here, and they didn't make it this far, apparently.
Yeah, you get to after about I'd say about 20 minutes of travel, you get to Brindle Keep, and that's where you're supposed to be meeting the councilman.
Okay.
And as the squire leads you through, this isn't. It's not like he's ushering you through the Taj Mahal. I mean, this is a very common type of palace. It's nothing extravagant by any means. And it leads you to another room, and there is a gentleman standing at a double pane glass window, and the curtains are drawn quite a bit. Several candles and sconces on the wall, brightly lighting the room, and this person in robes kind of turns to you and greets you and introduces himself as my name is Ephraim Troyes, and he's making eye contact with everybody. He's kind of glancing at everybody, and
I bow
heard
curtly.
well, thank you. I heard of your great deeds last night, and I was
Nothing
considering
really.
something, so I wish to speak to all of you in person about it, and
Thank you,
in
Councilman.
private. As he says, and in private, he looks towards the squire and he goes, "Yes, my lord," and then he, kind of bows out backwards, and bows before he double pulls the door shut.
Yes, my lad.
So tell me, where do all of you hail from? And what skills do you bring to Brindle? Obviously, fighting skills, but do any of you hold any other types of skills that could be useful?
I am a ranger, sir. My world is the outside world of cities. The woodlands, the fields, the hills, the mountains, the valleys, the streams. That is where I make my life. Skills that I can bring? I already know where the staging post was. To track these miscreants back to their stronghold, 'twill be but a mere pittance of a task.
So are you one of these mercenary rangers that work for the highest coin?
Mercenary? No, sir.
It
I take
seems
it.
it's hard
I
to
will-
trust people nowadays, especially here in Brindle.
Indeed, I was having exactly the same feeling.
Luckily, Councilman, one of the merchants that visit your city from a nearby town can vouch for us. Maybe you've heard of Urton from...
Oh, that dwarf, yes, and unfortunately I have heard of him.
He's not a bad guy.
No, but everything is supposed to be one-sided with that dwarf, unfortunately. He
Then I
is-
suggest you go and talk to Brother Maynard about the evil that we have already destroyed since we have come to your city.
evil, destroyed. What say you? Explain a little bit more, please. A little bit more elaborately. What do you speak of this evil that was destroyed?
Pride, tell the man of what we have accomplished so
What
far.
is Brother Maynard up to no good over in that temple of Bahamut?
I assure you, brother Maynard is up to only good. So we
Well, I
brought
would
to
hope
him
so.
an artifact of great evil and helped him banish it from this realm. There is no telling what sort of disasters were going to happen had that thing been allowed to exist.
Well,
And
we
that
are
was just recently.
a very compassionate town. Within the last 10 years, we have opened our arms to many different celebrating deities, not just one, as you can plainly see.
Yes, lots of temples here.
Aye.
We almost have all of the flyers. Did the
Wrong
temples have
temples.
flyers? Did the temples have flyers too? Or placemats
Yeah,
or
they
whatever.
did, placemat
They did,
maps.
didn't they? They did. Okay.
They did.
Well, it did, but
every
it had,
establishment did.
it had a different nearby tavern's insignia on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 32 placemats in this collection, and everyone says like 1 of 32, 12 of 32.
Right.
And here for the manor house here, it says 18 of 32. So of course Vane there
I'm
was
gonna grab that one.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
grab one and
It's sort of like
Grab
as you
one.
go into, as you stop on I-95 or something, and you go into the gas station, and there's that small little kiosk with all those SeaWorld, Disney World little brochures. But yeah, there's a whole brochure, a whole setup of these, from the different establishments.
The Chamber of Commerce is on it in this town.
Well,
We have a very
Join the
diligent
city
council.
guard. Be all that you can be.
we did manage to accost one of these goblins that raided you last night. Have you been able to get any information out of him?
We have not been able to divulge any information from him. And in fact, I have been losing my patience because of my gods cannot get any information. I told that Joshua Nola the 13th, if he can't get the information out of him, then I'll find someone that will. But
I look towards I
I
look
put
towards I.
I put a hand on Pride's shoulder. Oh, but I do not believe you have met anyone as quick with the tongue as this one.
I think your methods may go further.
My friends, I do not believe in waterboarding any kind of criminal. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, that's wrong genre. Yeah,
Apparently it's perfectly acceptable.
yeah, he just does not want any violence. That is not how the people of Brindle treat guests, even though they are an unwelcome guest.
It is not in our nature either to resort to violence if diplomacy has an option.
Maybe I
Are
could
you
have a
sure
word
about
with
that? I don't.
him. He's already.
Sometimes it works the first.
But we can intimidate him.
This will be
surely,
our
though.
third interrogation of one of his kind, but this week alone. So we have gained much information.
Right. We could have a word with him if you'd like to hear from him. I assure you we won't do anything untoward towards the fellow.
I'm sure you will get plenty of time with this hobgoblin. Now, a little bit about myself. I just took over as lead councilman here in Brindle several months back, and under my watch, I don't say I lead with a heavy hand. I like everything to work in a very orderly fashion, and these attacks on Brindle are they're not in my agenda. And unfortunately, 10 years ago, I lost all of my family to the first Red Hand attacks. So I would like to see this new band, if supposedly from what I remember from the old tales from years ago, was all of the Red Hand were destroyed. I just don't know if I can believe that anymore.
Well,
They are representing themselves as the Red Hand.
They're carrying a different banner, though.
They're carrying a different banner, but they did this one that before you or as he was captured did state that they were here to complete what started 10 years ago.
Yes. They seem to call out this name of Sinrath. Perhaps that was somebody who survived the previous encounter and has taken up a leadership role now and striking out on his own. That's what it sounds like to me. Yes.
Pride, give me a diplomacy check while you talk about the flag being upside down,
Okay.
and what are you telling the councilman?
I'm just telling him from what I know from Erton, who has fought in the previous war, and what I've heard about everything to do with the Red Hands, that these aren't necessarily the same Red Hands that was responsible for the thing 10 years ago. I'm just, again, stressing that their leader may have something to do with it, but these goblins were kind of rooked into this, maybe. All right. Oh, God, that's spinning.
Very nice.
Oh, I should.
This is
I'm sorry.
I think I might have a little information on this. And he walks over to one of his, in his study there are just, shelves of books everywhere. And he goes over and takes a small book and he opens it up to a certain page and he goes, "Oh, yes, do these markings sort of resemble this?" And he turns around and it is the same as what you guys have been seeing. That's been hand painted by the goblinoids, right. But this is the fist is straight up, and when you point out it, he goes, "Oh yes, maybe this is a new faction of the Red Dawn. Of the Red Hand. We just cannot be for certain."
You've never heard of this Sinrath? I don't know if he was a big player in the last wars. Maybe he was but a child then, and he tried to seek some sort of revenge or something. Who knows?
No, there was a chieftain, but his name was not Sinruth.
Is there any chance that maybe one of us knows about goblins would know why it would be maybe that it's common to change the flags like this, or I don't know.
Sure,
it's weird.
You can give me a history check if you want to give me one. Sure.
Haha.
Probably they're either going to be descendants or wannabes, basically, and by the looks of it, it doesn't seem like they're very bright, if you know what I mean. Because of they're not flying the true red hand flag.